What's up, Juventus fans? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Transfer Meter Show. I apologize, or not, I can't really apologize for it, but I'm sorry. It's an unfortunate situation that yesterday's video was so a bit negative, a little bit depressing, honestly, when we're talking about who we're getting. Today we got to do it all over again, and this time we are doing with the outgoing players. So with players that we may want to ship out, may want to be able to get some chili cheese on the side, if you know what I'm saying. So I'll go through this. I'll try to make it a little bit quicker because yesterday I said it was going to be a short video and somehow it was 17 minutes long, only talking about 5 guys. So I'm going to try to run through each of these pretty quick. I'm going to run a train through these 11 guys as fast as possible is what I can say. Anyway, just stay tuned and we'll fill you in now. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. You're in the Bianconeri Zone. So let's get through this. Let's jump in on all these guys. Why do I keep saying stuff like that? Whatever. Let's get through these guys. We'll go one by one, and we will pick out which ones are more likely and less likely when it comes to leave the club or, to go somewhere else, maybe on loan or whatever it may be. More than likely, it looks like Juventus is trying to sell these guys. So we started off with our number one option, and that is Marko Pjaca. He gets the green. He gets the green light because he is definitely, he appears to be 100% out of here. He's not staying with Juventus. He's going to find another landing site. Latest rumor that we have on him happens to be Torino. If you know anything about Torino and the situation there with their, Cairo there and his attitude toward Juventus, I'm not super high on him. I'd rather Juventus not give him any players or do anything positively for his club, given the circumstance. But, if it's an option to sell, it's an option to sell. Whatever you have to do. That's all for Marko Pjaca. Let's move on to the next guy. Number 2, and we've got Mattia De Sciglio. We're going to leave this in the greenish range. It's probably going to go down a little bit, but honestly, I don't feel like adjusting the whole thing. So we'll leave it in the greenish range. He's at about a 75%, so still pretty high to be leaving the club or to be going somewhere else. Honestly, though, right now, there's some of the French clubs that like Lyon that had him on loan. Some options there or definitely have some interest in him. But as it stands right now, we still don't have anything secured when it comes to rumors of this player, of like somebody actually pursuing him and trying to lock him down right now. Will they send him back out on a loan? I don't know. I'm kind of leaning toward, unless you've heard anything differently, I lean toward more likely another loan, maybe with an option to buy or something like that. There's also the option that, given the situation with some of the backs that we currently have, that Allegri has a decent relationship with De Sciglio, that he may end up being like, you know what, that's fine. You stay here. We could use you in the future. I hope not. I think, honestly, Daniel Rugani has a better option, or not a better option, but a better chance of staying for that reason. But still, 75% chance he's more than likely out of here. And then we got number 3, and that is Gianluca Frabotta. We're going to keep it. I'm going to keep him in the green as well, even though he is 65% chance of really heading out of here. I think right now with the situation with Frabotta is that he's going to end up staying for the preseason to be tested out by Allegri, to see what Allegri feels with him, if they like him, if they like what he can bring to the table for right now. But there's also plenty of options when it comes to Frabotta of different teams that are courting him. We've got, we've heard of Atalanta. They're interested in him. Genoa's interested in him, as well as a team in Turkey that I'm not going to pronounce because I can't remember how to say it correctly and I don't want to offend anybody. Anyway, there's a team in Turkey that's interested in him as well. So that's one option of where he may go. But either way, should Frabotta stay, that'll be because Allegri wills it and wants him and believes that he can actually do something. If he's going, more than likely he will be going, over 50% chance, 65% chance that he'll be going. He'll be going to one of those clubs, I'd imagine, Genoa, Atalanta, or the Turkish club. So that's where we sit right now with Frabotta. Number 4 is Merih Demiral. And this is one, let's move him down to yellow, honestly. He was pretty high before. I want to say he was a good chance that I believe that he was going to be transferring out. The issue with Demiral right now, honestly, there is interest with him. The Roma's talked about him. I think Atalanta had interest in him. I think there are a few clubs that were all interested in Demiral, including, I think, Tottenham was one as well in the Premier League. Honestly, I don't want to say it's purely for a lack of interest because, we thought maybe there'd be a couple more Premier League clubs that would try to swoop in and try to grab Demiral and bring him over there. I think definitely the Turkey's performance in the Euro 2020, I guess it's 2020, the Euro 2020 really was not, beneficial for Demiral, his future, his stock, his future, any of that. He, had that own goal, obviously, against Italy. Thank you, Matty. But otherwise, besides that, he really didn't do a lot. He got benched after that, following, I think it was against Wales or whoever it was. He was benched a game or so with there. Just didn't do a lot for his stock. Honestly, it probably brought it down. That's why Juventus is now looking at, they had him for 40 to 45 million euros is what we want from him. Now they're slowly dropping down to like 35 million euros as an option that they would, take potentially. Still a decent chance. I think he has about 60% chance that he could be on his way out. He's definitely the option before that was the money-making option for the club. Problem is he hasn't done a lot to help himself currently. And then also it's just, it's a post-pandemic situation with a lot of clubs. They don't have all this money to be throwing around. I talked about it a little bit yesterday in the incoming video that basically, you look at Merih Demiral and you see what they're wanting for him. And then you have, Locatelli, they want 40 million for Locatelli. What you're seeing on the field right now equivalent when you see Merih Demiral as a defender and Locatelli as a midfielder? I know they're not obviously not in the same position or anything like that, but at the same time, I don't know. Like right now, I see Locatelli's stock is definitely rising. Merih's is, I don't want to say dropping, but it's like pretty level in that middle section. So I don't know. To me, if I look at the two players and I look at where how they're doing, etc. Right now, I would say Locatelli should be a higher number than him. Not great for Juventus, but that's the situation as it stands. Let me take a sip of water, otherwise I'm going to start hacking. Had to clear my throat anyway. So anyway, that's what it is. Now let's go to number 5, and that is our guy, Cristiano Ronaldo. Now we're back into the orange section. As it stands right now, the latest rumors appear. Actually, I think if it hasn't already, by the time this releases, I try to record this a little bit ahead. Unfortunately, with the timing of this for the outgoing thing, there's a meeting or decision day is what Ronaldo's saying. Who knows if decision day means if he's going to buy a car or whatever he's going to do. Who knows? Sometimes players like to play with and I can't blame him. When you hear rumors flying around about your situation and your name and whatever's going on, you like to play around and mess around with social media, with the the journalists or whoever are going to be pursuing you and trying to get this information out. Definitely not a journalist here, but he did say about basically it's decision day. For whatever that may be. So I would imagine that we would hear soon. I think even Romeo Agresti just moments ago from when I'm recording this was saying, more than likely if he makes it to Catanassa within the next, couple of days or so, then he will be at Juventus for that season. Regardless of how you feel about Ronaldo, I have swayed back and forth, honestly. There is definitely a positive to having Ronaldo on your team. 30 guaranteed goals almost every season. He definitely provides a lot. There's just a lot when it comes to chemistry and issues that I, for one, take up with that. And I have a bit of an issue. And also, if you're a Ronaldo fan, and I appreciate you being here, I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear, especially if you're a Ronaldo fan who has just been a Ronaldo fan. You don't jump from team to team, or you do jump from team to team. Sorry. You do jump from team to team wherever Ronaldo is. I want to hear your point of view because honestly, I do value it. I don't understand it, honestly. I can never just stick with one player. I understand he's really good and it's fun to watch and it's enjoyable. that's not who I am. Like, I love Federico Chiesa. Say he leaves, I'm still going to be a Juve fan, not going to be whatever he goes to. I still like him, but I'm a Juve fan. If that makes sense. Anyway, so I would like to hear your opinions on Ronaldo's situation with Juventus. Hopefully keep it as nice as possible. I know, if you get on Twitter, there's a lot going on with that. But as it stands right now, as a fan, I don't know. I'd like something needs to be figured out when it comes to him. It seems that maybe he might be willing to cooperate when it comes to his payment, his salary and all that, which is great. It's great to hear from him, especially he understands they're coming. He's not hurting for money. And then they're also dealing with some tough times in the market because of money lost during the last year or two, really, honestly. And then also, if he wants to perform better and he wants to have a chance in Champions League while staying at Juventus, he should help out that way, so that way they can get him some, more help or whatever you want to say. Anyway, that's why I stick with it. Right now, we have Ronaldo as about a 40% chance that he's leaving. More than likely going to be staying is the latest word that we have. But who knows? By the time this drops, maybe something will change. If not, I'm wrong. have a problem being wrong. We'll move on to number 6, who's also in the orange category, and that is number 6, Adam Ramsey. We have him at about 40% chance of leaving. So all these, not completely unlikely, but it's just Aaron Ramsey. His salary is high. A lot of people don't want to pay him for what he's worth. They don't really want to pay him that amount of money to come from Juventus. There's been interest. Some, Arsenal Premier may have some interest in him, but I don't think that they're going to be able to or willing to pay the salary that Juventus is currently having him on. There was a whole rumor that went along with Barcelona about, potentially swapping him with Miralem Pjanic. That seems to be they put the kibosh on that. That's not going to happen for multiple reasons. Please don't happen. I mean, yes, if we get Ramsey out of here, but no offense. I'm not sure if it's a net positive. Maybe it's a slight net positive, Miralem Pjanic instead of Ramsey, but I'm not looking for that situation to occur. Anyway, as it stands right now, seems unfortunately more and more likely that Ramsey will be staying with the club for another season. We'll see if somebody swoops in and saves us. All right. Number 7, oh my gosh, what did I just do? Anyway, number 7 is Radu Dragusin. We have him as well at about 40%. He's a low chance of leaving. Again, the main option, the reason Radu Dragusin could be leaving was the Locatelli situation. Do we have a swap deal with Sassuolo? Or not swap deal, but we have a deal with them where we'd add a player in to the cash offer for them. As it stands right now, not a lot seems to be heating up when it comes to that. Who knows by the time this drops? I could be wrong again. We'll see. It wouldn't, again, the way I look at this, and I know I talked to our Romanian friends here that are fans of the club as well, it wouldn't hurt for Dragusin, especially when you have the pretty full center back room right now, when you have all those players currently, or just the defensive backs. I mean, currently in the room, especially with Chiellini and Bonucci having a bit of a resurgence, it wouldn't hurt for him to maybe get loaned out somewhere, or at least have the option to buy back or whatever if they do sell him to another club, to develop as a player and get his game up a little bit. That's the way I look at it. But right now, unless something happens with Locatelli and him being included in that, seems less likely than it did before. Number 8, we've got our boy. Well, some of y'all may not claim him. I mean, whatever. This is more in the red category. We're on the border, red and orange. It's Federico Bernardeschi. As it stands right now, it seems more and more unlikely that he will be leaving the club. 30% chance that he will be leaving. Honestly, with another year or so on his contract, they can let it run out or do whatever they want with that. Allegri they brought him in while Allegri was here. Maybe Allegri would be positive on working with him and seeing if he can bring out something that would be beneficial to the player and to the club. Maybe, I know they talked about putting him in the defense and seeing what he can do there, maybe develop a little bit more. We'll see what happens. I'm okay with giving him a chance. Heck, he was the one hey, I know Bernardeschi gets a lot of hate. I understand it. A lot of it's justified. But, for now, I'm willing to cut him a tiniest bit of slack, mainly because he actually finished on his 2 penalties, which helped Italy win the Euros. We'll see what he can do. Maybe Allegri can pull a Mancini and make him more useful under his system. As it stands right now, the main reason, though, it's really not as much that we want, or whoever wants Bernardeschi here. It's more of all the long list of players that need to be outgoing, he's not at the top of the list. So he's, we'll get to him when we get to him kind of matter. Let's move on. Then we've got number 9, and that is Mattia Perin. As it stands right now, he's a 30% chance of leaving. He really wants to be a starting goalkeeper in the league, or somewhere at least. Main reason he wants to play for the Italian national team. He wants to earn his spot on there, which is an honorable thing. I talked about that. I can definitely agree with, or not agree with that, but understand his reasoning. Thing is, he's now 30% chance low of leaving. The main reason is because, Sirigu is off the table. He is now going to Genoa, where. Right, Genoa, is that right? If I'm wrong, I'm an idiot. Sorry, I'm very, very little sleep lately. Mattia Perin was the keeper. Now Sirigu's coming in and taking over there. So it takes an option off the table for him. But then it also takes an option off for Juventus, who was looking at Sirigu as being that backup striker to Szczesny. Myself, I would have preferred if they would have picked up Sirigu and brought him in as a backup, but I understand him going, he can go start somewhere. I think Perin could be a serviceable option. Again, Sirigu and Perin both looked amazing against Juventus. Did they look the same way against everybody else? Not so much. we'll see what they can do. You know, he is a Juventus owned player though, so for now, I think he will be that backup striker unless some kind of cash offer comes in for him, and then they can grab somebody else up. Let's move on to number 10, and that is Nicolo Fagioli. As it stands right now, he's also 30% chance. All these 30% chance ones are pretty low. I'd honestly put him maybe a little bit lower. Nicolo Fagioli, the reason is he's 30% chances right there with like Radu Dragusin in that situation. If Sassuolo wanted Fagioli, then they would get Fagioli for the most part because they would work that in, be able to use him. Maybe I honestly am really big right now on all the players that if you're going to send them out or if you're going to include them in a deal, make sure you have that buyback option or whatever you have at the end if they end up taking off. And I know a lot of guys and a lot of you all out there are big Nicolo Fagioli fans, Nicky Beans. I would love to see him grow. I'd also love to see that homegrown talent for Juventus come up, be a big time player, and then maybe even down the road be an Italian national team player. How great would that be? That's something that I love. That's something I'm passionate about. So I'd love to see it. But as it stands right now, Allegri is he's gonna get a chance right now because of Artur's injury and everything that's going on with him. So he's definitely gonna get a chance to step up, get an option to play, definitely in the preseason, maybe in the early season, and kind of prove his worth there for the club. I'm happy. I'm happy with it. I'm okay with it. I'm content. Maybe not over the moon, but I'm content with it. I'm happy with him getting a chance. I was happy with what I saw when I did ratings last season. Was happy with what I saw. I'm just talking more and more. I don't know why. Let's move on, and I believe this is the last guy of our list, and that is Artur Melo. He has had a 10% chance. He's the lowest chance of leaving the club right now when it comes to our outgoing players. The reason with that is honestly, now he's injured. PSG was interested in him. We had some rumblings there. PSG was, kicking around trying to see what they might do with him. He's been sustaining an injury, but now he's gone through surgery and he's going to be out for 3 months. Nobody's going to want to buy him right now. If they're going to want to make an offer for him, they'll wait till after he recovers in October, see how he comes back, see how he's playing, and then potentially, look at him in January during the winter market. I just don't see it happening in the summer market. 10% chance he's not leaving. He's going to sit and go on the Khedira plan or whatever you want to call it. He'll be a J Medical, living the good life for the next few months, which honestly, cannot blame him. Like I've always said, my two favorite, not that I cannot blame him, I'm not happy about it. But one thing I've always said is like my two favorite, my career dreams would always be to either be Sami Khedira and just living a J Medical, being on the team, making all that money, doing nothing, offering nothing, or to be a fired college football head football coach, as in American football in the United States. They make tons of money and they just get fired and they get to go live the good life on the beach, with their wives and kids. What's better than that? Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the outgoing players. Is there anybody else you'd want to sell to? This is 11 players. Do you have more players that you want to get rid of as well? You never know. I'm sure somebody will have something to throw out there while we have the chance. I'm sure I'll hear a Dybala or something like that. Anyway, make sure you let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Please do like and subscribe. We're almost we're getting closer to that 1,000 mark. So excited about that. Can't believe how fast we're growing, and can't thank you all enough for your support and just your kind words and involvement with the channel and the show. Just love having your involvement and love hopefully to be able to actually talk to you, maybe not in person, but over a video screen one day soon. Anyway, hit that bell icon to stay notified. They're all latest videos as soon as they drop. And then also make sure you follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone and follow me, Justin Sofro, at Justin Sofro on Twitter. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri. Let's sell these guys.